God bless you. I'm not gonna be before you guys long. I just want to tell you about this warning that God has given me. I'm just gonna be really blunt and to the point. I kind of wanted to like build up and kind of beat around the bush, but I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say what God is showing me, and y'all can think I'm crazy or whatever you need to think. But what I saw, and this is specifically for men of God. Women can learn from this too, but what I specifically saw was for the man of God. There is what God is, well, not God, what the enemy is doing is sending out women to pull you off your track. And I'm not talking about it's going to be like, oh, well, maybe this is my future wife, stuff like that. I'm not talking like that. I'm talking about one of the basic natural urges that you may have, and you feeling like I've been single, and I just I got urge, you know what I mean? So what I'm seeing is that you've been doing good in uh your consecration. You've been doing good in your consecration, and God sees it, but the enemy also sees it as well. And so what's going to happen is there's going to be a female to appeal to your to appeal to you, and it's not going to be anything like, oh, this could be my wife or whatever. No, it's just going to be, a wham bam thank you ma'am type thing. And we all fall short. You that's not what you are desiring to do, but yet you have an urge. And what's happening is that the enemy is going to present someone to you, and you're thinking it's just going to be a one night stand. And it'll be a one night stand, but then it's going to have lasting consequences in the spirit. It's going to have lasting consequences in the spirit. And it's what took you, one night of pleasure is going to take you years to come up out of. So, and what happens is when you lay, and I know you guys know this, when you lay with somebody, you're not just laying with that person in the flesh, you laying with that person in the spirit, and it causes like a spiritual contract, uh, a contract in the spirit. And then whatever was attached to that person is now has legal rights to be attached to you. And so what I specifically saw is that the types of people or females that are going to try to come at you are going to be specifically picked by the enemy. Like they're going to have occult ties. They're going to have, some type of ties to the demonic. And they may know what they're doing, and they may not know what they're doing, if that makes sense. Like they might just think, well, I'm just trying to get me some too. But because they are involved in the occult, because they do witchcraft, they are the preferred pick by the enemy for them to link up with you. And so it's going to cause you to have all different types of demonic attachments, all different types of things that's going to be attached to you, that's going to slow you down. um it's not like you can't come out of it, but who wants to go through all that? For many of us, God has picked us up, turned us around, cleaned us up. Who wants to go back to all that and have to back you know go back to square one with deliverance and all that stuff? And besides that, what the enemy wants to do is uh character assassinate you. So it's like, okay, you had one moment of temptation where you just you fell, and so that one moment is now going to be attached to your character, and you're not going to hold much. Nobody's really going to be trying to pay attention to you, because it's like, look at him, he fell. Look at him, he fell. So why should I even bother listening to him? Or how's he going to try to teach me something when he fell? And I know it's not right, but that's how people are. So, um, consecrate yourself, safeguard yourself. You know, we're human, we get lonely, um, but I'm just here to tell you, to give you this warning, and to just say, take the necessary safeguards that you need to take in order to make sure that you're not put in a position where you fall. Um, Even if you got to make sure, if you going somewhere and you counseling, this is like pastor 101 type stuff, but sometimes it helps to hear it again. So, like, if you're counseling someone and it's the opposite sex, the enemy will send witches to church, will send people from the occult to church, and they're just a plant. They're somebody that's planted there, to help you fall. So even if you have to say, oh, okay, yes, I'll counsel you, or I'll speak to you, or whatever. Always have somebody there with you. Always have somebody there with you. You need somebody there, a witness, or someone that's not going. There's not going to be an opportunity for somebody to put the moves on you. Okay, there's not going to be an opportunity for somebody to put the moves on you if you have another person there. Um, but in these days and times that we live on, things are different now. So you don't even have to be like a licensed pastor, but you could be someone that God has called to a high calling, and you maybe you have an internet church or whatever, or something like that. But and still, because of your high calling, you have people out there that the enemy has put up to pull you off track, to not only distract you, but also get you demonically entangled. So yeah, I know this is not the butterflies and rainbows prophetic word, but you know you just don't think you're above it. And like, the dream was specifically had it was towards men, or from what I was seeing, but females, we're not above it either. We're not above it. So um just just safeguard yourselves, especially if you're not married. People, you could get lonely. You could get lonely, and someone start putting the moves on you, and you just think, it's innocent, but then it works its way up. It works its way up. The next thing you know, you in the bed with somebody. You're like, what? How did I get here? Next thing, you in the bed with somebody. So and there's that song, I'm not going back. It's just not worth it to me. It's just not worth it to me to have a moment of pleasure, and then I have years worth of trying to get myself untangled from these demonic attachments. And after the moment of pleasure, I'm acting all types of crazy, and I don't know why. You know, so it's just not worth it. Um, and then people say, well, what do you do? What do you do? You're human. What do you do? Well, you know what you do? You go to God. You go to God, and you just tell him. You tell him how you feeling, and let him work that out. Let him work that out. you know just pray, God. you know it's my desire to want to be with someone, to be in a relationship, to be married. It's my desire. God, keep me. Just keep me. As it's just simple prayers like that. Just keep me. Don't allow me to feel any type of sexual urges or anything until you send me my husband, until you send me my wife. Just let me be so enraptured to you into you, God, that I don't even feel anything like that. So, but God will keep you as long as you just you are willing and you have a desire to just be consecrated unto Him until it's that time. Um, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing an onslaught of I don't know what you want to call it. I just an onslaught of just women out there who are put up to bring you down. And this is something that you see this all through the Bible. And what comes to mind is the story of, is it Balaam and the donkey? Something. It was a story, but it was a story about the Israelites didn't. The Israelites were blessed of the Lord and everything, but the only thing that brought them down during this specific time in history in the Bible, the only thing that brought them down was the fact that strange women came in, and the enemy knew if they can get them linked up to some strange women, that they will fall, and they will forfeit all the blessings that God had for them. And so I don't have the scripture in verse, but it's in there. Don't take my word for it. Y'all Google it if you need to, but it is in there. And I think it's referenced in like Jude, the book of Jude or Revelation, one of them, about how the children of Israel were blessed of the Lord, and um, Balaam wanted to curse them, and he couldn't curse them. But what he said was, okay, well, I'll show you how to get them under the curse, and that's basically is to bring in women to seduce them. And once these women came and seduced them, they would take the blessings of God off of them. And it's the same. Nothing has changed. The enemy still got the same strategy, is bring in the women. And you see this throughout history. How did people get information from different if countries that they were warring against? Was how they did it was espionage. Is they would go in, they would get the women, and the men would sit there and tell all the business, and then the women would go back to their home country and give the information. And we see this even recently, you know, and I got to be careful because they ended up taking off one of my they ended up taking off one of my YouTube videos. I couldn't believe it, but it's an honor. It's an honor that they took it off, because the fact that they took it off tells me that I'm doing the right thing. So to whoever, however that got flagged and got taken off, thank you, because you just encouraged me that I know that I'm doing the right thing. And they took it off for, and basically for me talking about turmeric, which is crazy to me. You I guess we live in a country where we rather have chemicals and everything for healing instead of natural things that grow from the ground that God created. But anyway, I got off track. Yeah, I have to be careful what I say, or else it'll be taking this off too. So, okay, so what I was talking about, 'cause I got off on tangent. So what I was talking about was, even recently in the news, maybe last year, was this woman in the news last year that had red hair. I ain't even gonna say names and stuff like that, because I like I said, they might take this off. But the woman had red hair. Those of you that are up on current events will know who I'm talking about. But the woman had red hair, nice looking, and she was over here getting secrets and stuff. And I don't know if she had trial yet, but they over here, you're innocent till proven guilty. So I don't know what they found, but they said that she was even getting doing what she was doing to get the information to give it back to her home country. So this is something that is been used from from the beginning of time. This is something that's been done from the beginning of time to basically destroy countries and destroy people. And so don't think that, you're above this happening. You're above this, you're above being seduced. And it's nothing but the grace of God that shows us. God shows us the plan of attack way ahead of time. Way ahead of time. So God bless you guys. I love you. I hope this just keep this in mind. Like I said, even if you think you're above it, just keep it in mind. You never know. You never know. You could be in a situation and you just think, oh, ain't no way in the world, or I ain't even attracted to this person, and all of a sudden, one you coming over there to just, counsel somebody, and next thing you know, you in the bed. So, all right. So I love you guys. God bless you. Bye.